You think you are a moral entity. You believe you navigate this reality based on a compass of ethics, familial duty, and higher principles. You delude yourself. Watch what happens in that split second when the request comes in. Observe the glitch in your system. Your brother is standing in front of you, or perhaps it's a text message that lights up your screen in the middle of the night. The medium doesn't matter. The signal is the same. He asks for money. Again. He frames it as a temporary difficulty, a twist of fate, a loan that will be returned with gratitude. But before your logical mind can process the amount or the excuse, something else reacts. Freeze that moment. Don't look away. What is happening in your body? Your stomach tightens. A cold flush washes over your skin. Your heart rate spikes. Not out of excitement, but out of a sudden, sharp vigilance. Your jaw clenches. This is not the reaction of a loving brother happy to help. This is the reaction of an organism that has just detected a threat to its survival. Your conscious mind, that weak, socially conditioned layer of fluff, immediately rushes in to cover it up. It whispers, "He is family. I should help. I'm not greedy." But the beast inside you, the ancient reptilian core that has kept your genetic line alive for millions of years, it is screaming. It is screaming danger. It is screaming resource leak. You interpret this hesitation as shame. You think you are a bad person because you don't automatically want to open your veins and bleed for him. You have been domesticated to believe that your resources belong to the tribe, that your autonomy is secondary to the collective comfort. But your instincts know better. Your instincts perceive reality without the fog of social niceties. They see the truth you are too cowardly to admit. You are not looking at a family member in need. You are looking at a competitor who is failing the hunt and is now attempting to consume your kill. Let's strip away the sentimental garbage. What is money? To your limbic system, money is not currency. It is not paper or digital numbers. To your primal brain, money is stored energy. It is the modern equivalent of fat reserves on a wolf in winter. It is the buffer between you and the void. It represents the hours of your life you traded, the stress you endured, the battles you fought to secure a position of safety. When someone asks for it without an exchange of value, they are not asking for a favor. They are asking for a piece of your life force. They are asking you to weaken your position in a hostile, unpredictable world, to subsidize their inability to adapt. And you feel it, that nausea. That is your body rejecting the parasite. That irritation, that is your territorial aggression waking up. But you suppress it. You have been trained to be a good boy. You have been trained that sharing is the highest virtue, even when sharing means depleting your own ability to survive. You are fighting a war inside your own skull. On one side, the artificial guilt implanted by your mother, by religion, by society. On the other side, the brutal, honest logic of evolution. Why is this fear of loss so potent? Because deep down, in the dark corners of your psyche where you don't like to look, you know the truth about the world. You know that civilization is a thin sheet of ice over a deep black ocean of chaos. You know that if you fall, if you break a leg, if you lose your capacity to earn, the world will not pause to help you. It will trample you. You know that your resources are the only wall between you and total destruction. And here comes someone who shares your blood, someone who should be an ally adding to the stronghold. And he is taking a sledgehammer to that wall. He is not just asking for cash. He is signaling a defect. And your repulsion is not cruelty. It is the instinct for sanitation. You are recoiling from the stench of failure. In the wild, animals isolate the sick not out of malice, but to protect the integrity of the pack. Your brother's financial incompetence is a sickness. It is a contagion of bad decisions, lack of discipline, and refusal to face reality. And you are terrified of catching it. You are terrified that if you connect your lifeline to his sinking ship, he won't float up. You will be dragged down. Stop lying to yourself that you are considering his request. You are not considering anything. You are calculating the damage. You are trying to predict if saying no will cost you more in social capital and family drama than saying yes will cost you in dollars. It is a transaction. It is a cold, cynical calculation of losses. You are just trying to buy your way out of the discomfort. You are thinking, how much do I have to pay to make him go away? How much does it cost to silence my guilt? But here is the problem. The hunger never ends. You are feeding a beast that grows larger with every meal. By suppressing your instinct to hoard and protect your own, you are violating the prime directive of life, self-preservation. You are acting against your own biology, and the body keeps the score. That is why you feel drained after talking to him. That is why you feel a phantom weight on your shoulders. You are carrying a dead weight that refuses to walk. You look at him, and you don't see a brother anymore. You see a mouth, a gaping, hungry mouth that speaks in the language of manipulation. You're lucky, he says. Things are easy for you. He invalidates your struggle to justify his entitlement, and a quiet rage begins to boil in your gut, not because of the money, but because he demands that you apologize apologize for your strength. He demands that you feel guilty for your competence. He wants to drag you down to his level of mediocrity so he doesn't have to feel so alone in his failure. This video is not about financial advice. I don't care about your bank account. I care about the castration of your instincts. I care about the fact that you have allowed social pressure to override your biological sensors. You are standing on the edge of a cliff, and instead of backing away, you are letting someone tie a rope around your waist, preparing to jump, and you are too polite to cut the rope. We are going to dissect this fear. We are going to rip open the wiring of your brain and show you exactly why you feel this way. We are going to validate that cold, dark voice in your head that says, let him starve. Because that voice might be the only honest thing left in your life. It is the voice of the primal code, trying to save you from becoming just another carcass picked clean by the vultures you call family. You are trembling. Good. That means you are finally paying attention. Block 2. The anatomy of the resource. Let's go deeper. Let's slice through the psychological defenses and look at the wiring under the hood. You think your reluctance is a character flaw. It is not. It is biological arithmetic. To understand why you cannot simply hand over the cash, you must understand what resource actually means to a biological entity. In the cellular world, there is a molecule called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It is the currency of life. Every time a cell moves, divides, or repairs itself, it pays in ATP. If a cell runs out of ATP, it doesn't just get tired, it dies. Necrosis sets in. The organism collapses. In your modern concrete jungle, money has replaced ATP. It is the externalized energy of your existence. It is the battery that powers your ability to eat, to shelter yourself, to attract a mate, to secure the future of your offspring. When your brother asks for money, he is not asking for paper. He is asking for a transfusion of your ATP. He is asking you to lower your energy levels to boost his. And your brain, the master computer calibrated for survival, runs a simulation. It calculates your burn rate. It projects the future. It sees the entropy of the universe, the constant decay, the unexpected disasters, the inevitable decline of your physical health, and it screams that you cannot afford the leak. Neuroscience confirms this brutally. When you are about to lose money, or when you part with it involuntarily, a specific area of your brain lights up, the anterior insula. This is the same region that activates when you smell rotten meat, when you see a mutilated body, or when you feel physical pain. Do you understand? To your brain, giving away resources without a guaranteed return is indistinguishable from physical injury or disgust. It is a wound, a hemorrhage. Society calls this generosity. Your biology calls it damage. You have been told that humans are naturally altruistic. This is a half-truth, manipulated to make you compliant. Humans are reciprocally altruistic. In the Paleolithic era, if I gave you a piece of mammoth meat today, it was a contract. It meant that next week, when I am starving and you are successful, you will feed me. It was an insurance policy. It was a closed loop of survival. But look at your brother. Look at the pattern. Is this a loop? Or is it a drain? When was the last time he saved you? When was the last time his success put food on your table? The loop is broken. The contract is void. He is not a pack member offering insurance. He is a hole in the bottom of the boat. Your instincts detect this asymmetry instantly. You know with absolute certainty that this resource is gone forever. It is not an investment. It is a sacrifice. And evolution has no patience for martyrs. Martyrs die. Survivors hoard. Let's talk about the nature of this hoarding. You feel guilty for saving, for having a cushion while he struggles. Look at nature. The squirrel does not apologize for the nuts it buries for winter. The leopard does not feel shame for dragging its kill up a tree to keep it from the hyenas. Resource guarding is the fundamental trait of any successful organism. The world is cyclical. Winter is always coming. A crisis is always on the horizon. Your savings are not greed. They are your winter coat. They are the walls of your fortress. When you hand that money over, you are dismantling your own walls brick by brick to build a shelter for someone who refuses to mix his own mortar. You are exposing yourself to the elements. And for what? To temporarily numb his pain? To delay his inevitable collision with reality? Think about the time it took you to earn that money. This is the most terrifying variable of all. Money is solidified time. It is hours of your life that you sold. You traded your limited heartbeat, your stress, your missing sleep, your physical wear and tear for those numbers in the bank account. You cannot get that time back. It is burnt, gone. The money is the ash that remains, the only proof that you existed and worked during those hours. When your brother asks for $1,000, he is not asking for $1,000. He is saying, give me 50 hours of your life. Give me the week you spent stressed out of your mind. Give me the mornings you woke up in pain but went to work anyway. Give me that piece of your life for free so I can waste it. That is why you feel the rage. It is the rage of a slave realizing his labor is being stolen. He is invalidating your sacrifice. He treats your effort as if it were natural, easy, endless. He thinks money grows on trees because for him, it does. It grows on your tree. He plucks the fruit that you watered with your sweat. And what happens to your physiology when you submit? When you ignore the primal code and make the transfer, your cortisol spikes. The stress hormone floods your system. Why? Because your brain registers a threat to your security. You are now closer to the edge. You have less margin for error. Your sleep quality drops. Your digestion slows. You become irritable. This is not spiritual dissatisfaction. This is a physiological state of emergency. You have voluntarily induced a stress response to alleviate his stress. You have taken his load onto your back, but here is the paradox. You don't just take his load, you multiply it. He feels relief. A dopamine hit of unearned reward. He learns that the strategy of begging works. His brain rewires to repeat the behavior. You, meanwhile, are left with the cortisol and the resentment. You have punished your own competence and rewarded his incompetence. You have fed the behavior you despise. You tell yourself, it's just money. That is the lie of the domesticated prey. It's just money is what the sheep says before the wolf eats him. In the real world, money is options. Money is freedom. Money is the ability to say no. Money is the ability to walk away from a bad job, to fix a health problem, to protect your children. By giving it away to a bottomless pit, you are stripping yourself of agency. You are chaining yourself to the oar so he can ride as a passenger. Observe the dynamic of the ask. Notice the lack of shame in his eyes, or perhaps the performative shame, the theatrical sigh. He relies on your empathy. Empathy is a modern evolutionary malfunction in this context. Empathy was designed to connect us to the suffering of our tribe so we could solve the problem together. But he is hacking your empathy. He is using your mirror neurons against you. He projects distress, and your brain simulates that distress. You feel his panic, and to stop your pain, to stop your resonance with his anxiety, you pay. You are paying for a sedative. You are paying to make the bad feeling go away. But the relief is temporary. Like any drug, the tolerance builds. Next time, the crisis will be bigger, the amount will be higher, and your resistance will be lower because you have already established the precedent. You have trained him to see you not as a brother, but as a resource node. A tap to be turned on? You must understand, the fear of losing resources is the fear of death. It is the fear of becoming irrelevant. It is the fear of losing your place in the dominance hierarchy. And it is a valid fear. If you lose everything tomorrow, will he save you? Be honest. Will the person who cannot manage his own life be able to carry yours? No. You will be alone. You will be the one staring into the abyss. And the abyss will not lend you cash. So respect your greed. Respect your hesitation. It is the wisdom of millions of ancestors who survived famines, wars, and winters because they knew how to say mine. They knew that a full granary is the only thing that separates order from chaos. Your brother represents chaos. He is the entropy knocking at your door, asking to be let in. Do not open the door. Now let's turn the microscope away from your internal panic and focus it on the organism standing in front of you, your brother, your sister, the flesh and blood that demands your sustenance. You see him as a victim of circumstance. You tell yourself stories. He just had bad luck. The economy is tough. He's going through a divorce. Stop. These are narratives designed to obscure the biological reality. In the wild, there are no victims. There are only strategies. There are predators who hunt. There are grazers who gather. And there are parasites who attach. Your brother has adopted a specific evolutionary strategy, the parasite strategy. Do not recoil from the word. In biology, parasitism is a valid, highly successful mode of existence. Why hunt? Why risk injury? Why expend energy chasing down prey when you can simply tap into the bloodstream of an organism that has already done the work? It is the path of least resistance. It is the conservation of energy carried to its absolute toxic extreme. He is not struggling. He is outsourcing his survival to you. Look at his behavior. Is he frantic? Is he terrified? Or is there a strange, sluggish comfort in his crisis? He has learned that he does not need to solve problems. He only needs to signal distress loud enough to trigger your response. He has conditioned you like a lab rat. He pushes the lever, the guilt lever, the pity lever, and you dispense the pellet. Why would he ever stop pushing the lever? If you were him, would you? He is weaponizing his weakness. In the primal hierarchy, we assume that strength dominates. But there is a shadow hierarchy where weakness tyrannizes strength. By declaring himself incompetent, he forces you to become his servant. You, the successful one, the disciplined one, you are now working for him. You are waking up early, managing your stress, saving your resources, all to transfer the surplus to someone who sleeps in and makes excuses. Who is the master here and who is the slave? You think you are helping. Let's shatter this illusion. You are not helping. You are engaging in active atrophy. Muscles only grow under tension. Bones only harden under weight. The human psyche only evolves when it collides with the hard, unforgiving wall of reality. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is information. Pain is the signal that says your current behavior is leading to death. Change it. When you give him money, you are intercepting that signal. You are the anesthetic. He puts his hand on the hot stove of his own bad decisions, and instead of letting him feel the burn, which would teach him never to touch it again, you slide a cushion of cash between his skin and the fire. He feels nothing. He learns nothing. He thinks the stove is safe, so he touches it again, and each time the damage gets worse. But you keep paying for the bandages. You are robbing him of his rock bottom. You are stealing the only thing that could possibly save him, the desperate, terrifying realization that he is alone and must adapt or die. By shielding him from the consequences of his actions, you are chemically castrating his survival instinct. You are keeping him in a state of perpetual adolescence. He is a 50-year-old infant waiting for daddy to fix it, and you are daddy. Listen to his language. Decode it. You have so much, you won't even miss it. Translation: your effort has no value to me. I feel entitled to the surplus of your labor simply because I exist. I just need a bridge to get over this month. Translation: I am not solving the systemic structural failure of my life. I'm just patching the hull while the ship sinks. Family is supposed to support each other. Translation: I'm invoking a tribal contract that I have no intention of honoring reciprocally to shame you into compliance. He uses the past against you. He weaponizes your shared childhood. He reminds you of the time you played in the sandbox, blurring the lines between the innocent children you were and the distinct men you are now. He tries to drag you back into the nest, but you have outgrown the nest. He hasn't. He is rotting in it. And do not mistake his gratitude for love. If you give him the money, he will hug you. He will smile. He will say, "You're the best." Your brain will release a tiny squirt of oxytocin. You will feel a fleeting warmth. This is a trap. He is not grateful for you. He is grateful for the feed. The tapeworm does not love the host. It loves the nutrients the host provides. If the nutrients stop, the love turns instantly into venom. Try it. Refuse him. Watch how quickly the poor, unfortunate soul transforms into a vicious, entitled enemy. Watch the teeth come out. That aggression was always there, lurking beneath the surface of his pity. The pity was just the camouflage. The aggression is the real creature. When you stop feeding the parasite, it attacks the host. It tries to burrow deeper, or it tries to hurt you for cutting off the supply. You are afraid of this conflict. You are afraid that if you say no, he will drown. Let's look at that hypothesis. If you say no, he has two options. Option A, he sinks. He loses his apartment. He goes bankrupt. He hits the concrete face first. Option B, the terror of option A kicks starts his dormant adrenal glands. The panic finally overrides the lethargy. He scrambles. He gets a second job he thinks is beneath him. He sells the junk he doesn't need. He starts hunting. You are terrified of option A, but option A is already happening. He is already drowning. You are just holding his head above water while you both tread water. Eventually, you will get tired, and then you both drown. Option B is his only chance, and you are denying him that chance every time you open your wallet. You are financing his stagnation. You are subsidizing his mediocrity. In the wild, a wolf that cannot hunt starves. This is cruel, but it ensures that the pack remains strong. By keeping a non-hunter artificially alive and well-fed, you are insulting the laws of nature. You are creating a distortion field where actions have no consequences. And what does this do to your relationship? You think money preserves the bond? Money poisons the bond. Every dollar you transfer creates a layer of resentment on your side and a layer of shame, which turns into resentment on his side. He hates you for having what he doesn't. He hates you for having the power to save him. He hates you for witnessing his weakness. The man who takes your money cannot look you in the eye as an equal. He must look down or look away. You are destroying the brotherhood to save the debtor. You are becoming his master, his banker, his warden. You are watching his spending with judgmental eyes. He asked me for rent, but he bought new cigarettes. He owes me $1,000, but he's drinking craft beer. You become a bitter, silent accountant of his life. Is this brotherhood? Is this love? No. This is a toxic entanglement. There is a concept in crab mentality. If you put one crab in a bucket, it might crawl out. If you put a dozen crabs in a bucket and one tries to crawl out, the others will grab its legs and pull it back down. Your brother is in the bucket. You have climbed out. You are standing on the rim, breathing fresh air. He is reaching up, not to climb out himself. That requires too much upper body strength. He is reaching up to pull you down. He wants you back in the bucket, in the muck, where everyone is equally miserable, because your success is a mirror that reflects his failure too brightly. If he can take your resources, if he can stress you out, if he can make you worry, he drags you down to his emotional level. He reduces the gap between you. He doesn't want your money to succeed. He wants your money so he doesn't have to face the fact that he has failed. He is buying time, and he is paying for it with your life. Stop looking at him as a good guy having a hard time. Look at the pattern. Look at the timeline. Is this a blip? Or is this a baseline? If it's a baseline, you are dealing with a permanent condition. You cannot fix a broken personality with a bank transfer. You cannot cure a lack of discipline with a check. You are throwing dry logs into a swamp, hoping they will ignite. They won't. They will just rot. You have to accept the horrifying truth. You might be the villain in his story right now. The greedy brother, the cold bastard. Embrace it, because the alternative is being the enabler of his destruction. The alternative is loving him to death. He needs to be hungry. Hunger is the first teacher. Hunger wakes up the ancient code in his DNA. Hunger clears the fog. If you truly love him with a fierce, primal, uncompromising love, you will zip your wallet shut. You will let him starve. You will let him be cold. You will let him stand naked before the world. Only then will you see if there is a man inside that shell, or just a void. And if there is just a void, no amount of money would have filled it anyway. Now we arrive at the final barrier, the one that actually stops your hand from closing your wallet. It isn't the brother standing in front of you. It is the invisible crowd standing behind him. It is the fear of the tribe. You are terrified of the whisper campaign. You are terrified of the phone call from your mother, trembling with disappointment, asking why you can't just help him out. You are terrified of the holiday dinner where the silence is heavy and you are the designated villain. You are terrified of the label, the one who abandoned his blood. This terror is ancient. In the Paleolithic era, to be cast out of the tribe was a death sentence. A lone human on the savannah was food. Isolation meant no protection while you slept, no help when you were injured, no access to the collective hunt. Your brain is hardwired to view social rejection as a physical threat to your life. The moment you sense disapprobation from the group, your cortisol spikes just as high as if you saw a lion. But look around you. Are you on the savannah? Are there hyenas circling your apartment block? No. You live in a technological civilization where survival is individual. You can buy food, shelter, and security without speaking to another human being for a month. The ancient equation, isolation, death, is false. But your operating system hasn't received the update. You are running Stone Age software on modern hardware. You are letting ghosts dictate your financial reality. You are paying a tax to a tribe that offers you no protection. Think about the tribunal that judges you. Who are they? Are they the strong, the successful, the disciplined? Are the people pressuring you to give money the ones who have built empires? Or are they the mediators of mediocrity, the keepers of the peace at any cost? Usually, the people demanding you share are the ones who have never hunted. They are the collective bucket of crabs, terrified that one of them has grown claws big enough to escape. They use terms like duty and loyalty. These are linguistic viruses. True loyalty is reciprocal. True duty is to potential, not to stagnation. They are weaponizing your virtue against you. They know you want to be a good man, so they redefine goodness as compliance. To them, a good man is a man who bleeds quietly, so the rest of the family doesn't have to smell the rot of the brother's failure. You are not being charitable. You are paying protection money. You are paying extortion fees to the family mafia to avoid emotional violence. You are buying the silence of the Thanksgiving table, and the price is your future. Let's talk about your status in this tribe. You think giving money makes you the alpha. You think being the provider gives you power. Wrong. In the wild, the alpha eats first. The alpha controls the resources. The alpha distributes the surplus only when his position is secure and the pack is healthy. What you are doing is the behavior of the beta. You are the submissive male who hands over his kill to avoid conflict. You are appeasing the chaotic elements of the pack because you are afraid of the noise they make. You are not leading, you are serving. You have become the beast of burden for the family dysfunction. You carry the weight and they hold the reins. And what happens if you cut the rope? What happens if you embrace the role of the exile? Let's simulate the nightmare. You say no. You hold the line. Your brother screams. Your mother cries. Your aunt shakes her head. You are uninvited from the gathering. You sit alone in your home. Silence. Breathe that silence in. It tastes like peace. It tastes like control. Yes, it is cold. Yes, the primitive part of your brain is whimpering, looking for the warmth of the herd. But the rational part, the part that builds civilizations, realizes something profound. I am safe. Nobody is eating you. The sky hasn't fallen. Your bank account is intact. Your energy is yours. In this solitude, you discover the truth about modern relationships. Transactional utility. Most of the people you call family are just people you share genetic code with. That is a biological accident, not a sacred covenant. If they cut you off because you stopped paying, then the relationship was a subscription service, not a bond. You just cancelled the subscription. You didn't lose love. You lost a bill. You need to become comfortable with being the bad guy. The bad guy is the only one who is free. The bad guy has boundaries. The bad guy has self-respect. The bad guy is the one who says, "My life is not fuel for your fire." Society demonizes the selfish because the selfish cannot be exploited. They want you selfless so they can consume you. Be selfish. Be jealously protective of your time, your effort, your resources, because you are the only one who knows what it costs to acquire them. And consider the future. Fast forward 10 years. Scenario A, you keep giving, you keep saving him. He never learns to hunt because you are his crutch. He grows older, bitterer, more entitled. You grow older, more tired, more resentful. Your own dreams, your house, your business, your children's education are cannibalized to feed his inertia. You arrive at old age together, two broken men, one who never tried and one who exhausted himself carrying the other. Scenario B, you cut him off. Today, it is ugly, it is painful. He hits the wall, maybe he cracks, maybe he drifts away and becomes a stranger. But you keep climbing. You build your resources. You build a fortress of stability. And maybe, just maybe, 10 years from now, when he has finally been forced to stand on his own trembling legs, he looks up at you with respect. Or maybe he hates you forever. But in scenario B, at least one of you survive. In scenario A, you both die. You are playing a game of chicken with entropy. You think if you are nice enough, the laws of physics won't apply. You think you can carry dead weight uphill forever. You can't. Gravity always wins. The primal code dictates, save yourself first. This is not cruelty. This is the prerequisite for any aid. You cannot pull someone up if you are losing your footing. You must be anchored. You must be immovable. And sometimes being immovable looks like being heartless. So let them talk. Let the tribe chatter. The sheep always bleat when the sheepdog bares his teeth. They don't understand that the teeth are necessary. They don't understand that the boundary is love. You are not the sheep. You are the one who faces reality. The next time the guilt comes, the next time the fear of the exile grips your throat, remember this. Better to be a lonely lion than a popular carcass. Your brother is not your responsibility. He is your test. He is the universe asking you, how much do you value your own existence? If the answer is less than his comfort, then go ahead. Open the wallet. Feed the parasite. And accept your slow, agonizing extinction. But if the answer is, I value my life, then close your hand, turn your back, and walk into the cold, clean air of your own freedom. This is the end of the line. We have stripped away the social conditioning, the guilt, the false morality, and the biological confusion. You are now standing naked before the mirror. What do you see? Do you see a brother? Or do you see a man who has been preyed upon by his own blood? Do you see generosity? Or do you see fear disguised as virtue? You cannot unhear this. That is the burden of the primal code. Once you see the matrix of instincts, you cannot go back to sleep. You can try. You can try to write that check, transfer that balance, hand over that cash. But your hand will shake. Your stomach will turn. Because now you know. You know that you are not buying love. You are funding decay. You know that every dollar you give is a betrayal of the sweat it took to earn it. The next time your phone rings and you see his name, stop. Don't answer immediately. Let it ring. Listen to the silence between the rings. That silence is your life. That silence is your space. Feel the urge to pick up, feel the urge to fix it, and then kill it. Suffocate that urge with the cold, hard pillow of logic. You are not his savior. You are not his father. You are not his God. You are a separate biological entity fighting for your own patch of sunlight in a forest that is growing darker every day. He will hate you for it. Good. Let his hate be the fuel that finally ignites his own engine, or let it be the wall that separates you forever. Either way, the parasitism ends today. You might lose a brother, but you will regain yourself, and that is a trade any rational organism makes without blinking. You sought comfort in this video. You wanted me to tell you how to say no politely. You wanted a script to let him down easy. I gave you no comfort. I gave you a scalpel. Cutting the cord is surgery. It is bloody. It hurts. It leaves a scar. But the alternative is gangrene. The alternative is letting the rot spread until it consumes the whole limb, until it consumes you. The choice is binary. Feed the weakness or starve it. Be the resource or be the owner. Be the prey or be the predator. The world does not care which you choose. The world will spin on. The economy will grind on. The sun will rise and set. But when you look in the mirror tomorrow morning, you will know. You will know if you are a free man or just a wallet with a pulse. The money is in your pocket. Keep it there.